Good morning. Hi, everybody. My name is Chrissy, and today I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the 16th of April. Now, I do pretty much daily readings just to keep up to date with the energies because, as we know, globally things can change very quickly, and there's a lot going on at the moment in the current energy. So I thought it'd be nice to just come on and just see what guidance and what messages come through today. So for anybody new to my channel, I do regular prediction readings. I just let my guides channel through to you. So if you're watching this video, there's a high probability that there's a message in here that you're meant to receive today. So I'll just close my eyes and we'll just get started. Now I'm definitely getting that the fog is clearing. Now for anyone who lives in a lot of fogs, I know in Canada you probably do, and I know here where I live in the Surrey Mountains, we get a lot of fogs in the mornings, and the energy they're showing me is that when that fog starts to lift, it starts to bring in warmth and blue sky. So it brings in a lot of clarity. It's a lovely feeling when that sun comes out and just sort of radiates down upon you. And this is kind of the energy that they're showing me today in this reading, is that if you're watching this video, we're starting to feel our own sort of warm, nurtured energy. So it's like we are taking care of ourselves now. Like we've had our ups and downs, but now we're actually starting to really find our footing and we're starting to feel better as people. Like I said, a lot of us have managed to detach from a lot of the dramas that are going on out there. It's not our journey anymore. We've removed ourselves. It's almost, like I said, it's like we're sitting back now and we're just kind of watching the show unfold. So I'm definitely getting there's this clearing. Oh, sorry, I have got paint all over me. I was painting my outside of my house yesterday. Excuse my paint. I am getting this clearing of the fog. So things are becoming clearer and clearer. And this could also be to a lot of people who have been in the mass psychosis. I feel like things are becoming much, much clearer. Now, last night here on a show called The Project, which is very biased, I would say it is a classic example of like a news channel that is always only giving one side of the argument. They actually had Shanghai and everything that was going on in Shanghai. Now, I actually think they were all genuinely shocked as well by these things that are going on. Now, never does that show The Project ever show things like that, but they actually showed the people screaming from the buildings. They showed the child walking alone and how the children were separated from their parents. They talked about the pets being murdered and killed. For anyone that was in that COVID building, all their pets were taken from them and killed. This was talked about on a mainstream news show. I could not believe my eyes. And I'm telling you, The Project is a show that always only ever shows one side of the argument and never ever shows the truth. So that to me was a major breakthrough here where I live. I hope these things are kind of going on where you are as well. But the thing is, when people see that and hear about that, that actually shocks people, because we were even shocked by that. You think about the enormity of what's going on in Shanghai at the moment is absolutely horrific. They're never going to get to zero with the virus. We know that's unrealistic goal that they've set themselves. But you have to know that these things are coming out, and that's pretty shocking for people. You start talking about their pets and being isolated in their homes and things like this and not having enough food, that starts to scare people. Now, I thought that was a really big thing, because to be seen on a mainstream media channel is very, very unusual here in Australia. So I'll take that as a tick that things are coming out, and people don't want to be living like communist China. So now they're starting to get that fears rising up in them because they're starting to see. Now, I keep saying that in April, people are waking up. A lot of people are waking up. But this is true. A lot of people are waking up. Now, I've been putting that stuff on Facebook pretty much the whole time, and I know you guys have as well, been sharing information. But then suddenly it comes up in their face, and that becomes truth. So they can't just put us in the corner anymore as like conspiracy theorists, because this stuff is actually rolling out and it's actually happening. I hear from a lot of you guys in Canada, and I know you're going through a lot at the moment. There's enormous changes that are going on in Canada. I talked the other week about a lot of bills being passed, and that's happening here as well. And now people are starting to see it, and we're all like fingers crossed hoping it's not too late, that people are leaving it very late to wake up and see these things. But when you see that you're not having any say in your future moving forward, and they're not putting things to the vote, for example, in Canada, Trudeau's passing a lot of bills over there. That means that you're not having any input. So therefore, you are already living in that dictatorship. And these are the things that are becoming very apparent to people now. They're starting to realize that they're not really having their voices anymore. Like I said, here in Australia, they're passing bills to close down our protesting voices, and we won't have that free speech. So these are the things that were kind of that are causing people to wake up, because it's starting to be put in their face, and that's a good thing. That's what we want. We want them digging. We want them asking questions. We want them finding out the truth, and that's what's going to wake people up, is when they actually feel like they're not having input into their life anymore, and their freedoms and their liberties are being taken away from them. That's when they start to realise. Fingers crossed that it's not too late. I know they're leaving it very late, but as we know, most of the agenda's rolled out anyway. But the more people we can get behind the movement of waking people up, the more people we can wake up. So it's kind of a win-win situation if we can get that information out. And look, they're starting to see it. This is happening. I'll see what else we get today. Oh, I'm really getting that sorry, that's Penny barking at somebody walking past. I'm really getting that the hackers are having a field day. This is going to open up a huge can of worms for hackers. Now, we know that digitally it's always been a bit of a hacking smorgasbord, I would say, is the word. But these digital sort of plans they're rolling out are going to create a lot more hacking. Now, this is going to have to be addressed, and I feel like they're going to have to address it straight away, because what's going to happen is too much information is going to pour out about people. And hackers are like sitting back and rubbing their hands. So that's something to be aware of. I'm getting that message today. If you're watching this video, don't press on any links, and be very, very aware of what's being sent to your phone, because this is going to be really challenging moving forward, because we're going to be getting a lot of digital information on our phones, but the hackers are also going to make these things, which we know they're very clever at, they're going to make things look very real and very normal. And we know that they're very clever when it comes to hacking into people's information and phones and data, and that they're very skilled at doing that. So this is kind of the message today, just to be very careful what links you tap on. If you're uncertain about something, it's probably best not to tap on it. If it is very urgent, I'm sure that if it's a special company or something, they can ring you, or they could email you or send you another sort of text in a different format. So you have to be very, very careful now moving forward of what links you are sending on, because as we know, all this information is just going blah, and it's kind of going everywhere out there in the digital outer space. So this is what's kind of happening. So just be very aware, and when you're getting unknown phone calls, you're getting lots of ads, you're getting, and I think we can all say we know we're getting a lot more promotional texts and things like this. Just be very careful that you're not tapping onto a link that's going to cause problems with your own phones and your data. So that's sort of the strong message today as these changes come about, which I think we pretty much know this is happening. We can't be in denial anymore. Just be very careful of what you are tapping onto, especially anything that sounds too good to be true. Well, it is too good to be true, because you don't get anything for free in this world, as we know. So any great offers or things like that, just really look out for, because I feel like the hackers are going to be really jumping on the bandwagon, because this is like their golden opportunity. They're rubbing their hands together thinking, oh great, all digital, yay, we can get into things. And oh, there's going to be so much marketing, and that sort of thing's going to be really on the rise as well. So, you know, you might have to block a few things, or gosh, you can't even go to a shop now without them wanting your phone number and your everything, and you try not to give it to them, but then you get all their ads for 40% off this, and it's becoming like almost overwhelming. Every time you get a bip on your phone, it ends up being an ad, and not, you think it's someone texting you, and it's just some ad. So this is how it's all getting used now, and then that's going to really escalate. So just be careful what links and things that you're pressing on, and yeah, just be very aware of that is probably the message today. The hackers are going to have a field day, which is really sad, because they're probably going to prey on a lot of the vulnerable people who are, well, let's think about it, who are in financial situations that they're really struggling, and then something pops up on your phone about, you know, do you need extra cash? Or this is the kind of manipulation that's going to go on, because they're going to look at how they can sort of trick people into borrowing money and all this kind of, there's just so much going to, and look, that's probably not just around the hackers. This could be around banks and different industries as well, which is kind of not good as well. So just keep your mind really sharp on those things digitally when things pop up on your phone. Just don't rush into anything. Really make a really good assessment of things before you enter into any sort of situation, or like I said, press on any links. Okay, forewarned is forearmed in that. I'll see what else comes up today. Gosh, I'm still getting that countries are standing. They're still showing me people standing up. It's like they're showing me like a roll call in school. So if you think back to when you're in the school years, and you're sitting in the classroom, and the teacher's doing the roll call, and they call out your name. For example, I might go, Chrissy, and you have to stand up and be counted for. So this is what I'm kind of getting now, is people are standing up. People don't want to be dismissed anymore. They want to be counted as a person. Now, this is almost saying to me like they don't want to be a number in a system. They want to be an individual that can be counted. So when you think of people standing up, it means they've found their power, to me, and their strength, and they're finding that courage to stand up. So this is almost like they're finding their own accountability now. Like, they're feeling, and this is not you watching this video, this is the people waking up, they're feeling like if they don't stand up now, they're going to feel and regret, and they need to have accountability moving forward. So it's kind of, that's the kind of word that's coming to me. They can't just sit down and dismiss these things anymore, because this is happening. They know if they don't stand up against tyranny, mandates, regulations, things that are coming in and coming in very quickly, that they're going to lose their livelihoods, they're going to lose their freedoms, and they're going to lose their voices and their lives as they knew them. So I feel like this is why people are standing up. Now, they're standing up still in small groups, but they're still grouping and banding together. And that's what we need. When people band together, it's more strength and it's more energy and vibration that gets emitted. And then more people feel safe to join. Now, I said that yesterday in my video, that on Facebook, someone posted about a really bad vaccine injury that they had. And then 3 or 4 other people wrote on that same person's post, because they didn't have the strength to do it on their own, but they felt they could jump on somebody else's and they wouldn't be vilified and targeted. So this is what I'm saying. People are joining together because they feel like they have to make a stance now. You have to imagine that if you've been through some sort of bad vaccine injury, and then you're hearing that children are getting jabbed, people are still suffering and having to get boosted, that's got to have an impact on you as a person to say nothing. And I think that's what they're sort of saying to me today, is that this is why people want to do that roll call, Chrissy. And then you either sit down and shut up, or you stand up and you say something. And that's what I'm getting today. This is starting to affect people's truths, because they feel like they need to be honest and let other people know so things don't happen to them. So this is why I feel like there's these global movements still that are rising up and finding their strength and their power, because they don't want this to happen to other people. Because people are starting to question now, well, where is all this headed? Why would you still be, for example, the Pfizer data, why would you still be jabbing and implementing and mandating something that has an endless list of side effects, and that we know has already affected so many people? So this comes back to people's conscience. It's on their conscience. If they don't step up and say something about what is currently going on, they feel like they will regret it. And this is a lot of people out there. You think of the number of people who have probably suffered, I won't say the word because YouTube does check me a lot, heart issues around certain things. Why would you not stand up and say something when you know that those numbers are on the rise? I said here in Queensland, I think it was, they were 40% up heart conditions. For what reason? There's no other reason other than we know what the reason is. So this is what I'm saying. Can you imagine if you've gone through that and you didn't say anything? You would always and forever regret that. So now that you're seeing that a lot of things are being implemented and people's voices are being taken away through protest bills and things such as this, even in Canada, America, here in Australia, and lots of other countries, we're losing our voices. And people know that's happening now because everybody's sharing that information. Look at Shanghai. The only voice they had was yelling from their high towers and skyscrapers, yelling out the window to relieve their frustration. That's turning people crazy and mental. So that's what I'm getting. People are now starting to become aware that it's time they stood up, they have their name ticked off, and they tell their truths and their stories. And that's what I'm getting today. They want to be, they don't want to be held like accountable for never having spoken up and allowing these things to keep rolling out and damaging other people's lives. So that to me is the big portion of the people that are really starting to stand up now and find their voice. And that's what I get, is these people who have had side effects, people who have been injured, they're finding their support groups and they're starting to fight back. So that could be one of the layers. I mean, the mandated people and workers who've lost their jobs have been fighting back for a long time, but now I'm really feeling that there's an enormous rise in the injured, and especially with the data that's come out and the fact that they knew, the big pharma and governments knew about these things, or we presume government might have known, they may not have, but that doesn't sit well with a lot of people, that they weren't given the right information to make an informed decision. And like I said yesterday, a lot of people were coerced and forced to take these things just so they could live their normal life. A lot of my son and his friends took it just so they could go to the pub and go out for drinks. They're all turning 18. That you want to have a life when you're that age. I couldn't even stop him from doing it. And they were coerced, and people took it to fly overseas. And now they can hardly still move around. And it's continuous because the passport, as we know, the goalposts keep moving for the green passes. So these are the challenges that these other people are having to face. So I keep saying that to anyone who's watching this video. You're sitting back now and you're allowing that show to just unfold. Just watch the screen. Just let things unfold in front of you, because that is what's happening now. Keep protecting yourself and keep saving yourself and staying strong. And that's the position that you now have to take. For anyone who's watching this video who has had injuries, or who is trying to fight back, or who wants to get off their journey, who has had a few jabs and is wanting to get off now, get off. There's nothing wrong with waking up and getting off and protecting yourself and people around you. That's a great thing. That's getting back into your power and not letting someone dictate to you your decision-making processes. So that's very important today, is that I'm getting a lot of these people are finally, and even that includes probably doctors and that who have been silenced by, I won't say who, but we know a lot of them in all countries have been silenced by the things that have been implemented. They were not allowed to speak out about these things, but a lot of them who were mandated, perhaps sacked or retired, are now starting to find their feet and they're starting to build as well. So I'm definitely getting, this is global. This is not some small movement. These things are popping up everywhere. These little support groups are gaining traction. And that's what I want you to keep in your mind today, that they're gaining traction. I'll just see if there's any other messages today. Oh, I did get Macron's going quite well. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. I won't go down that road too much because we've all got our fingers crossed, haven't we, for change in France. Anyway, I'll see what else I get. Oh, I get Canada is... Canada is not going to forgive Trudeau. Canada is now harbouring a lot of resentment around Trudeau. He is not well liked in that country at all. We know he's very manipulative and he can create things that are always in his favour. But I do believe there's big divisions in Canada. He's rolled over so many people, and I don't just mean citizens. He's rolled over people in Parliament. He's rolled over colleagues, and I believe that's where the resentments are lying now. They are really angry, and they want these issues resolved. They feel like they got voted in by the people and they should have a say in their country moving forward. But he is, as we know, always got to win at all costs, and he believes that he has the right to overpower everybody and that they don't have any say. And this is where that our anger is really rising. And I do feel, even though probably a lot of the parliament is behind him, there's still a lot of them that are really angry at his dismissing their viewpoints and not allowing them to have their say. So he's not only getting citizens offside, but he's getting his parliamentary support offside as well. And I think that's why he looks sort of further afield, because he is not well liked now within his parliament. He's not popular at all, because he's even like the real dictator when it comes to them as well. He always sees people as beneath him. So he just takes a stance on that and just treats people as though what they have to say is irrelevant. And I tell you what, that rubs people up the wrong way. So Trudeau, he's creating, what would you say? He's creating a trail of mass destruction is what I would say. Mass destruction that could come back and bite him on the backside. Give it time in Canada. Just be patient. The communist rule is not going to be tolerated. People in Canada do not want it. They have lived a great and carefree life in Canada, and they're a strong nation, and he is just squashing the people, and they don't like it. They're going to find ways to hit back at him. And they're going to actually have support, I believe, of some of the ministers and people like that as well. So stay strong in Canada. Just be really patient. He's making his own trail of destruction now behind him. But things like that always catch up with you, don't they? Let's hope that karma has some say in all of that. I'll just see what else we get today. It's really funny because no one's like giving a rat's anymore about the virus. It's almost like people, you get a small group of people that do, But majority of people don't even want to know about it anymore. They want to move on with their lives. And I'm getting this is probably, they're saying to me it's like 3/4 of the globe is completely over it. Now you think about that. That's a lot of people. And they just had enough. They just want to start living. They want to have fun. They want to have joy. They want to go boating. They want to go camping. They love no masks, no mandates, no checking in. And this is what I'm getting. This is what is happening. The global shift, it's about energy. See, people are starting to wake up. People are starting to shed those masks. Let's hope the rose-colored glasses go as well. But people are, they're like, what do you mean? Another variant? Like, that is the reaction that you get from when they go, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting another jab. That's what people say. People sort of thought that the third booster, that'd be fine. But then it's like now they're realising that this could be a very continuous journey and they don't want to stay on it. So a lot of people are waking up. And this is the energy that I get for today, is that people have had a gutful. They've had a gutful of being told what to do. Like I said, you get your minority group that are still scared that it's all happening, and because they watch too much news, as we know, on TV. But a lot of people have gone, they're shrugging their shoulders and going, oh, yeah, whatever. And now there's a lot of talk about the flu being back, of course. And that was another alarm bell that people kind of went, well, where did that go for 2 years? That's weird. And like there's all these question marks. And because everybody, well, I know about here, but everywhere else you've probably gone through the same thing. But all the people here in Australia pretty much have had Omicron. And it was just a head cold and they hardly got sick. So these are the questions now, like, oh, yeah, another variant of a head cold. So people are starting, people who have had it and experienced that, and I mean people who are vaxxed and boosted, and they've had, well, Omicron, COVID, whatever you want to call it, but they putting their hands in the air like, well, yeah, I've already had it and I'm jabbed, so why should I be worried? It's almost like, well, they think they're protected as well, so why would they still be pushing these things? And this is what I'm getting. This is great because we want people to ask questions. Because when they ask questions, they start to search and they start to get the truth, and they'll find out about the reset, and they'll find out about all the digital currency that's coming and what's going on behind the scenes. That's happening. And I'm getting that 3/4 of the globe is over this whole experience. Gosh, we know Shanghai's got to be over it, that's for sure. So look, let's leave it on that note today. Let's take that as a positive. People are waking up. April is the month of people really waking up. There's going to be a lot moving forward as well. But I think we can take it that 3/4 of the globe is absolutely over this BS. And can you blame them? They've had no life for 2 years. Life's pretty short. We're only here for a short period. I know you guys watching my videos out there, a lot of yous are great. You're getting back to the things that bring you joy. Someone's getting a kayak and people are growing their veggies and people are hiking in the mountains. Like, this is great. Let's get back to living. That's what life's about. We don't want to stay living in a shoebox and having no life. We've got nature out there. I notice there's probably not been too many uptakes on the metaverse. I don't know how that's all rolling out for them. But anyway, we'll hear how that goes down the track, I'm sure. And look, please stay strong. Have a happy Easter, everybody. I hope you're having a great weekend. The weather's beautiful here. I'm about to take Penny for her walk. She's crashed out. And I will see you in that next video. Stay strong. The Great Awakening. Go and check out that video. I'll put the video over here somewhere. Look for it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Hit the like buttons and hit the bell notification because that lets you know when my videos pop up. So watch my Great Awakening. I really believe that this is actually happening and we're really moving forward and changes are really taking place now. Stay strong, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye from Australia. Take care.